Hi, this is Dimitris Brunowski, author of the Curious Tanguero newsletter and tango books like Tangofulness, Tango Tips by the Maestros, and the tango novel When the Embrace Whispers. Today, I'll read a few excerpts from Tango Tips by the Maestros, hoping you'll find them useful, and maybe even check out the book on Amazon. It's available in English, Spanish, and Italian, with more languages coming soon. You can also find it on Audible as audiobook. Let's get started. This excerpt is from the chapter written by Nacho Mora and Celia Rodríguez. Let's start. How to achieve better control of your body. To be able to dance as a couple, it is very important to know and control your body, since only then can you be in control of your movement without bothering your partner. You must work individually to improve your balance so that you can better prepare yourself to dance with another person. The following thoughts and the exercises below will help you develop your body awareness more quickly. Start by standing in front of a mirror and firstly, feel how your weight is distributed throughout the sole of each foot. Just as in any construction, the bigger the base, the more stability you bring into your dance. You should feel your ankles and knees and then make sure they are not blocked. Instead, they should be relaxed to absorb any imbalance. Now, try to focus on the feeling of your weight. It should feel as if it is going towards the ground, never upwards. This is a major mistake many dancers do, who concentrate more on the top and put all the energy upwards, disconnecting from contact with the ground, which is there to create stability. There are three axes in your body: a vertical axis, a horizontal axis formed by the shoulders, and a horizontal axis at the hip. Whenever you lose your balance, you must ask yourself if you have broken any of the two horizontal axes. Being aware of it is the first step, whereas avoiding it is the second. With these in mind, let's look at the following balance and weight control exercises. We recommend not reading them all at once. Instead, read the first, then practice it, even if it is for a few seconds if you don't have time or you're already in bed. Then go to the next exercise. 1. Raise one leg slowly, sliding the foot to the knee. Hold that position for 30 seconds, then lower the leg slowly and finally switch to the other leg. 2. Feel your foot firmly anchored to the ground while trying to do some ornaments that you know with the other leg. For example, lapis, high bolio, low bolio, etc. When you lose balance, analyze why it happened, always thinking about your horizontal axis, your relaxed joints, and your connection to the ground. Make some small adjustments and try again until you improve your stability. 3. Make lateral steps, forward and backward, slowly, becoming aware of how you move the weight from one foot to the other. Focus entirely on this transition of the weight from one leg to the middle and then to the other leg. Never let the weight pass directly from one side to the other. In this change of weight, there is a transition happening and you need to be aware of it. The point where the weight is 50% on each leg is the point that gives you much more stability than having the weight 100% on one leg. It is important that you always feel that moment of stability, 50% in each leg, in every step you take. Practice being aware of when it happens during every step. 4. Perform forward ochos, keeping your chest towards the mirror while moving forward. Remember to feel the moment of stability at which you have the weight equally distributed on both legs before transferring all the weight to one leg and performing the pivot, which is the most unstable moment. Our recommendation is to practice these exercises individually each day. You will notice a great improvement pretty fast. How to improve the connection with your partner. A good connection with your partner will make your dance much more precise and enjoyable, and therefore both of you will enjoy much more dancing tango. If this doesn't happen, you will both be fixing mistakes instead of having a good time on the dance floor. For this reason, both of you must be very clear and precise in your steps so that your partner can feel exactly when and where you step in order to go together. The leader must show confidence in each movement while trying not to concentrate all the attention on the top, because this will transfer the dance too high, which is undesirable when dancing tango. If the leader connects with the ground, the dance will be much more stable and clearer for the partner. Another very important point is to keep your chest facing each other, because then you won't lose connection with each other. When you walk, you must do it with the chest completely facing each other, never in a triangle position or with the follower on one side. The more you maintain a frontal position, the better the energy of the leader will be transmitted to the follower. Following these concepts, let's explore the following exercises to improve your connection as a couple. Again, we recommend not reading them all at once, but after reading each one to take at least a few seconds to try them. 1. Stand facing each other without touching and try to dance, again without touching. The leader must be clear with his body as to what he wants to lead and must anticipate the beginning and end of the movements. The follower should try to stay in front of the leader and read the movements so that at all times they can move together and synchronized. 2. Now, the leader should embrace using only the right arm. The follower hugs with the left and then places the right on the leader's chest. Both dance in this position, following the same idea of maintaining the frontality, with the difficulty being not having half of the embrace. 3. The third step is to do the same exercise, but now the leader only uses the left hand of the embrace, while the follower embraces the leader normally. This exercise adds new difficulty since we cannot count on the leader's hand that goes to the back of the follower, which we normally use to lead or stop. 4. The final step of this exercise will be to dance, while the leader is not embracing, that is without any arms, but the follower hugs the leader with both arms on his back. The leader must be able to lead all the movements without using the arms, and the follower must bring all the attention in trying to stay in front of the leader to help keep connection during the dance. Our recommendation is to practice these exercises as a couple for a while, till you feel a great improvement in your connection. How to use music to improve your tango? Listening to and knowing tango music is an important factor that will contribute to improving your overall dancing ability. Try to listen to tango music whenever you can, but in a very specific way. Do it with the intention of learning. For that purpose, it is a good idea to do it in an organized way. For example, take a week or 10 days in which you will only listen to the same orchestra. You can listen while you work, when you walk, on the bus, etc. If you listen to the same orchestra all the time, it will be easier for you to begin to recognize who their singers are, their different stages, the characteristics of their music, etc. The next week or 10 days, change to another orchestra. Do this exercise for a few months, and finally, you will see how much easier it actually is to recognize each orchestra and its characteristics. Listen to it actively, discovering which parts of the tangos are more rhythmic, which parts have more melody, where there is an adagio, a variation, etc. Once you recognize the differences between each part of a tango song, start visualizing how you would dance them, stronger, more rhythmically, slower, smoother, etc. If you don't know what adagio or variation means, or how it can be expressed in your dance, you can find 2 videos in the Reader's online environment that will help you. After listening to each orchestra for a few days, knowing the different characteristics, and recognizing the different parts in one tango, you can practice dancing alone. This way, it will be much easier to listen to and interpret each part of the music as you feel it, without having to concentrate on leading or following. Always dance using very simple movements, because the goal of the exercise is to focus on music and to be able to give the character that the orchestra proposes in each part of the tango. Therefore, it will be much easier if you don't think in difficult sequences. Try using ochos, rebounds, paradas, pauses, etc. Apply this also to vals and milongas. You will consequently recognize that there are more rhythmic valses and more melodic ones, depending on the orchestra. Try to dance with appropriate movements for the intensity that the orchestra proposes. In the case of milongas, although they usually have less pauses, we must recognize which parts are better to dance with more steps, contratiempo or double time, than just dancing on the beat. Remember that a good tip for dancing milonga is to think that it is slower than you think. If you don't do that, probably you will dance very fast instead of dancing calmly. Practice with all these ideas, and you will quickly improve your dance using the music as your guide. At the same time, this will also improve your dance as a couple, and you will both enjoy each tanda a lot more. The first step would be to simply decide which orchestra you are going to listen to during the first week, then the second week, etc. On the Readers Online environment, we propose a sequence of orchestras that we recommend, from the easier to the more complex. If you enjoyed what you learned in this episode and want to learn more from Nacho and Celia on how to use music to improve the couple's connection, visit tangotipsmaestros.com to explore all available languages as paperback or as audiobook, or simply search Tango Tips by the Maestros on Amazon. Also, if you found this episode helpful, don't keep it to yourself, share it with your friends. For a curated list of free and paid resources to help you improve and enjoy your tango, go to thecurioustanguero.com/ArgentinaTango. I've put together a list just for you. I'll say it again, thecurioustanguero.com/ArgentinaTango. And remember to smile, you've discovered tango. Most people haven't. What a gift.